You're watching TVC News. Accreditation and voting have also commenced at the polling unit 010 Ifaki 2, Ekiti North Senatorial District. The elderly are given the privilege to be accredited and vote first. But there seem to be issues with the bimodal voters accreditation system, which has failed to capture the elderly who are waiting to be accredited. The younger ones, however, have no issues with the system.
We have just visited the because we're in polling unit 006, which happens to be the polling unit for one of the candidates for XTP. And we have seen a lot of turnout in this unit, like you have observed, and we have observed too. They have issue with the beavers, and the report from the presiding officer is that the beavers is not capturing the biometrics of the elderly. So what they did, because there was priority for the elderly to be on the queue first before they get to the younger one. But because of the failure of the beavers to pick their biometrics and their facial expression, they resorted to the young, capturing the young people, accrediting, because the beavers is accrediting them for the voting process. So what we now have right now, they are taking more of the youth, maybe pending when the system will maybe acclimatize to the elderly. But that's what we are having right now. It's a situational challenge. I don't think it cut across all the units. There are some units where the beavers is working perfectly. It takes the biometrics, it takes the facial, because the beavers is going to take the biometric and the facial expression.
Come up with the suggestion of this environment is crazy. Only that the beavers has to prove that it's not that functional. To believe that the beginning of the candidates to take care of people.
Also in polling units around Ekiti, accreditation and voting started at 8:30 a.m. TVC News' Ayeku gives us updates on the situation there.
From Iyin, Ekiti, in Irepodu, a fellow local government area of Ekiti State, election materials and, of course, electoral staff arrived way before 8:30 a.m., the time for accreditation and voting. And, of course, they arrived into the waiting hands of the voters who have been here earlier, than some of the INEC officials who were expected at the different polling units. The streets may look a bit empty, but the people are swarming the various polling units, in their area. So while I spoke with some of them, of course, they gave their expectations as to what they're expecting from the new governor of Ekiti State.
Governor ta fẹ́ dìbò fún yín. À ń fẹ́ ìdàgbàsókè nílùú Iyin. University à ń fẹ́ àní iléeṣẹ́ kankan.
Anybody can vote for anybody, is like, so I can't demand for, this is your own, this is my own, but I know my mind. I know that somebody I want to vote for, I know it for myself. We have no water in the town, no water. We are suffering from the water pretty much. Water, even road, number 2, road. And then that university that has been mentioned to this town, we want it to be open with immediate effect.
Since this is the border community to the state capital, we've seen a number of armed security officials, on the road at some checkpoints and even in this community, ensuring the process is violence-free. To INEC guidelines, special consideration should be given to pregnant women, the elderly, and persons living with disabilities, which is something that is evident in all the polling units that we've visited so far. So in this polling unit 014 in Ekiti, you see that there is a separate line for the elderly, and you see that there's a separate line for, of course, special consideration given to the pregnant woman. Some of them, of course, are enthusiastic, to be going through this process, and they are assuring that since Iyin has always been peaceful since time immemorial, they don't expect to see any violence in this area. They just expect that this process will be as peaceful as it can be.